going, everyone? My name is PlayStation Maverick, and today we're going over the top 10 games that I highly recommend. I had a poll on the channel's official page, and asking you guys which video you'd like to see me do next, and you guys chose this. This is what you wanted to see, so without further ado, here are the top 10 games that I highly recommend. Coming at number 10, The Last of Us. Released in 2013 as a PlayStation exclusive, horror-filled survival game, follows Joel and Ellie as they fight through a zombie-infested world, trying to get Ellie to a group called the Fireflies who promise to find a cure for the outbreak. The outbreak is caused by cordyceps, which is a zombie-infecting fungus that actually does exist, but it commonly only affects insects. Don't really know much more about it, but anyway. Not really going to say anything else about this game, as I could go on for hours about how amazing it is, and I recommend this game to anyone, and I'm really looking forward to Part 2, which will hopefully be released later this year. Coming at number 9, Just Cause 3. Don't know where to begin with this game. It got me hooked. Other than a couple of really hard missions, there's really nothing I don't love about the game. From the graphics to the storyline, this game is amazing. Personally, one of my favorite things is the graphics of the explosions. So realistic and overly just satisfying to watch. Not saying actually blow shit up in reality, unless you actually want to go to jail. But I definitely recommend giving the game a try. Coming at number 8, an old classic for the PlayStation, for the original PlayStation, Toy Story Racer. Don't judge me, I love this game, and I still do. This game was a huge part of my childhood and one of the very first games I ever played. It provides hours of fun and allows you to play as 12 different characters from the original movie. Each character has their own unique challenge, and was released back in the early 2000s. I believe 2001 was the correct date it was released. It's definitely worth playing. And did I mention you can actually play co-op with a friend? Coming at number 7 is Pokemon Emerald. Pokemon. One of the most successful franchises in the world. Been a fan since I was 4 years old. Now, this one's going to be a bit of a long description because I love this game. Released for the Game Boy Advance in 2005, Pokemon Emerald is a combined version of the 2003 Ruby and Sapphire games. What makes Emerald different from them is it includes version exclusives like Seedot, which was exclusive to Ruby, and Lotad, which was exclusive to Sapphire. However, not all version exclusives are available in the game. Pokemon like Solrock and Lunatone, for example. While you could catch Lunatone in Sapphire and Solrock in Ruby, only Solrock can be captured in the wild in Emerald. And if you remember from the original games, if you played them, there was Team Aqua and Team Magma. You dealt with Magma in Ruby and Aqua in Sapphire, which pretty much makes sense. But in Emerald, you're dealing with both of them. Next comes the Battle Tower, which was accessed after defeating the Elite Four and becoming the champion yourself. However, the champion was also different. Not going to say who the original champion of Ruby and Sapphire was. Steven. And his signature Pokemon was a Metagross. Now, the champion in Emerald, all I'm gonna say is he was one of the gym leaders from Ruby and Sapphire. Not gonna say which one. Kind of just gave a spoiler there. The gym leader is a male that took over the champion position for Steven. But anyway, instead of just the battle tower being accessed, there's a whole new island called the Battle Frontier, which has 7 different facilities to go through. The Battle Pyramid, the Battle Dome, the Battle Arena, the Battle Palace, the Battle Factory, the Battle Pike, and the Battle Tower. Lastly, there was also a new Pokemon you couldn't catch in Ruby and Sapphire were added, like Wooper and Sunkern. They never appeared in the wild in Ruby and Sapphire, but in Emerald they do. Also, note that both Kyogre and Groudon can be captured, but only after becoming champion and certain conditions are met. This was by far the best Pokemon game to ever be created, in my honest opinion, and definitely deserved a remake like Ruby and Sapphire got in 2014. Highly recommend this game if you can manage to actually get your hands on it. Now, coming in at number 6 is The Evil Within. Released in 2014, this horror game is filled with terror and one of my favorite games of all time. It got a part 2 in 2017, I believe. And the first one provides a major challenge. The second one is easier, but still has its hard moments. It's hard to explain the game, so just play it for yourself. The original game was released for PS3 and Xbox 360, while the second was released for PS4 and Xbox One. Coming in at number 5 is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, the most realistic game of its time, that I've seen at least. This game was released in 2006 for the GameCube and later for the Wii. Then it was remade for the Wii U. And note that this is my favorite Legend of Zelda game in the series. It's really worth the time to play, and rumors are actually going around that it will be remade for the Nintendo Switch. And if it turns out to be true, I will definitely be getting it. Coming in at number 4 is Skyrim. I put this on the list because, I need to admit that when I first played this game, I got highly addicted to it for like 3 weeks. Then when I got the edition with all the DLC, I became hooked to it again. I put so much time into that game, it's not even funny. With multiple classes to choose from, whether they're focused on ranged or close combat, or even a combination of both, it's really worth playing, especially if you can get the DLC. Which gives you access to more quests, new areas to explore, and even an entire new area outside of Skyrim called Solstheim. It's a part of Morrowind, another land. Another thing I love about the game is it's much easier to level up since you can do it anywhere, unlike the previous game, which was Oblivion, where you could only level up by sleeping in a bed. This game was released in 2011 and got over 100 Game of the Year awards. Really worth playing. Coming in at number 3 is the Resident Evil 2 remake. Released back in January of this year, the remake of the original Resident Evil 2 has 4 separate campaigns, 2 of which are a lot harder than the first 2. While the game itself sells for $60 brand new, it's worth getting. Put numerous hours into this game and have no regrets whatsoever. Follows the stories of Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield, who each have their own separate campaign. Has a fair amount of jump scares and a really annoying enemy who follows you from time to time. And the only way to make him stop is to literally shoot him in the head. But mind you, it will only disable him. He will get back up after a while. But fans of the series need to play it. Coming in at number 2 are Mega Man X4 and Mega Man X5. I couldn't choose between these two. I love both of them equally. So, therefore, they're both in this spot. Originally released for the original PlayStation in the 1990s, then it was released on one disc. They were released in a collection for the GameCube, which had the first 6 Mega Man X games. These games are much more fun and provide a decent challenge, while some areas of the game are a pain in the ass to get through. One stage in X5 in particular actually had me raging. That stage pissed me off to no end. It is beatable. You're just going to have a lot of patience. And that's only the first half of the stage. The last half is so much easier. X4 has its hard stages too, but I recommend playing both of them if you can get your hands on them. And finally, coming in at number 1, released on March 13, 2012, is Silent Hill Downpour. This was the last main core game in the Silent Hill series, and is tame compared to the other Silent Hill games. What makes this game really unique is it has multiple side quests for you to do. The only thing that sucks about the game is that your weapons can break, and you can't permanently keep weapons and guns that you pick up. Also, with certain areas, you lose specific items, but you can get them back. While that fact does indeed suck, the game was really worth playing. Its soundtrack was even done by the band Korn. To make things easier for you, this game was released for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. I'd also like to give a shout out to my buddy Carson for introducing me to the Silent Hill series. Thanks, man. I owe you one. Well, that about wraps up this top 10 list. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what your favorite game is, and if you've ever played any of the games on this list. Be sure to subscribe to join the Maverick Squad, and as always, keep on gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video. PlayStation Maverick, signing off.